everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Leanne Jamelis Wood. I am a 7th grade social studies teacher here at Creekside, and I'm the coordinator for the DC trip. This will be my 2nd time leading and my 4th time going to Washington, DC, so I have a little bit of experience. I'm still learning. So hopefully, if those of you that are watching the live stream at home can actually see what's going on, because it told me I had to do it in portrait mode. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to go with it. We're going to roll with it. So I want to get you out of here in a kind of a timely manner, and we're going to go through some of the information about where we're going to go, how much it's going to cost, safety precautions that we take, things that I know are interesting to you, but your kids don't care too much about. Okay, so that was a couple of years ago, and every year we do a little bit different of a trip. But some of the things that the kids always get to do include going to the Holocaust and African American History Museums, going to the Capitol building where we take a tour. We go to Arlington National Cemetery and participate in a wreath laying ceremony there. We do a picture stop at the White House. We go to the Washington Monument, Lincoln, Jefferson, Vietnam, Korean War Memorial. We try and pack as much as we can into the 3 days that we have in DC, so they can get the best experience possible out of it. Plus, they get to do it with their friends, and they seem to, usually enjoy it. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. The way that we go out is by passenger buses. Every school in Carmel does take buses. I wish that we could take airplanes, it would be great, but it makes the cost just a little bit too high for a lot of people, so we take buses. This year we'll be going out on Wednesday, since our 2018 fall break will be from Thursday to Friday and then Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna leave on Wednesday instead of the Thursday that we usually do. We'll have about a 6:30 p.m. departure, and then we'll drive all night and get into Philadelphia on Thursday morning. We're gonna do a morning in Philadelphia, get to see the Liberty Bell, and see some historical sites there, including Constitution Hall. On Saturday, we're gonna be coming back, but it'll be a late trip around 8 p.m. We started doing this last year, where we actually come back in the evening so that students have all day to kind of recuperate before school. It really helped us to keep the attendance of kids that were absent. It was a lot less than it was the previous year, so that was really nice. And then when we're going around DC, we do a lot of hop on, hop off kind of tour bus activities, and they do a lot of walking in DC as well. But we have dedicated tour buses that are just for us, just for our kids. They're not sharing them with anybody else. Some of the activities that you saw included monuments, museums, like the Holocaust and the African American History Museum. We also go to Smithsonian's. We try and hit up at least the American History and the Air and Space Museums, because those seem to be the most popular. We go to historical sites. For example, we're going to be going to Philadelphia this year, government centers, and Arlington National Cemetery. This year, we're going to be doing a dinner cruise on Friday night, where they get to have dinner and a dance, and we're going to be doing that with Carmel Middle School. At least that's the plan. Hopefully it works out, but that should be a fun time. This trip will cost approximately $1,100. If you want to factor in if you have to buy luggage or new clothes for your child, it could be a little bit more than that. But I believe the exact cost that I have so far is $1,069. So that includes our main meals, hotel, travel, trip fees, expenses. And then registration and payment will be through World Strides. World Strides is a tour service that we use. They have a contract with Carmel Clay Schools. They've been our provider for many, many years now, and they are super responsive. I trust them. I think that they do a great job putting together an excellent opportunity for your students. And we'll have registration open January 22nd for lottery winners only. I'm going to talk about the lottery in a little bit here, so I'll get back to this. But you'll register on the World Strides website on the 22nd if your students picked through the lottery. There's an early bird pricing special going on before January 31st. I believe it is $100 off of the price. So if you register your child before the 31st, then that pricing applies. If you wanted to give your child any souvenir money, I don't suggest more than $150 because it will not come back. Just being honest with you. That's going to be kind of a high end of things. I think that 75 to 100 is plenty. Then they can get extra snacks if they want to. They can buy some souvenirs in the various places that we go. That seems to be a good amount. So for the hotel, we're all going to stay in the same hotel. Last year we stayed in the Holiday Inn in Arlington, Virginia. It was lovely. They had just renovated it, and that's really nice. There's 4 students to a room. They do not have an adult stay in the room with them. The adult chaperones stay in separate rooms, but we do make sure that they don't leave the room in the night, which is pretty important. 4 to a room, and then boys and girls stay on a separate floor because we don't want any mixing there, okay? And chaperones stay on the same floor as the students stay on. We also have night watch chaperones, and these are provided by World Strides. These are people that literally sit in the hallway and watch down the hallway all night long, and then if a student decides that they're going to try and sneak out of the room at 3 in the morning, they get met by a chaperone who says, "What do you need? Can I help you?" And they immediately either go back into the room and say, "Nothing, I'm fine," or if there is an emergency, they come find their chaperone, generally me, and then we take care of the situation. So for the food, we eat breakfast at the hotel, and then we have lunch at various food courts, sometimes a restaurant in the DC area. Malls and the Trade Center, Reagan Trade Center, if you're familiar with it, we go there. And then dinner also at various restaurants. For the cruise night, we'll be having dinner on the boat, so that'll be fun. Each bus tends to go to a designated location. Sometimes we eat together, sometimes we eat separately, but we are talking about 160 kids here, so we tend to split up a little bit just to make it easier. Snacks can be brought with or purchased, but please don't overdo it. I had a student last year bring an entire duffel bag full of Jolly Ranchers. Guess how many she got through? Maybe 5. Please do not let your child come with a Jolly bag full of, or a duffel bag full of Jolly Ranchers. It was a little ridiculous. So I recommend snacks, especially for the long days, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy. For safety, the chaperones do stay with the groups the whole time. The chaperones are going to be adults that are either associated with Creekside or work here at the school. I get a lot of teachers to go, instructional assistants, and we stay with them the whole trip. And then they stay with their roommate. The roommate group is their primary group. So in the museums where they have a little bit more freedom, they're instructed to stay with your buddy at all times. And they generally do kind of roam around in packs. You know, you have a middle schooler, they like to roam in packs. That's what they do. Other activities that are outside of that kind of closed-in environment, like if we go to a monument, that chaperone will be there the whole time, and students have a little bit less freedom to go wandering wherever they feel like. Plus, with cell phones these days, we have a great way to check in with students. So if we're gathering everybody up, I can send out a text message, everybody gets it, they meet at a designated location. It's pretty nice. We do not have more than 16 students to a group, and this is a choice that has been made with the administration, with myself, since I am running the trip. This is a number that I feel most comfortable with because we are out in a public environment for 3 days. I do not necessarily feel that it is a good idea to have 25 kids per adult. So I try and cap it at the number that I feel is best manageable by our particular group. World Strides also provides 10 chaperones for free. Any chaperones that go over 10, they have to pay out of pocket about $600, and that can be kind of cost prohibitive for a lot of chaperones, because sometimes I have to beg them to go, and for them to have to pay to go on top of that, it's not gonna happen. That's why I stick with 16 kids per chaperone. Then again, night watch chaperones at the hotel. World Strides also has an on-call doctor at all times, so if your child does have a medical emergency, the chaperone will go to the hospital with your child, stay with your child the whole time, and they have that dedicated doctor ready and waiting to take care of your child. Okay, this is the hard part. I want to be able to take everybody, but the numbers it kind of prevents it from happening. So we have a lottery selection for the trip candidates. And I limit to 160 students, went through that already. This lottery ensures fairness in selection. In previous years, it was a first come, first served basis, and it generally crashed the website every single year because everybody was trying to log on at 8 o'clock and get their kids signed up, and then parents that logged on at 8:05 didn't get their kids signed up. So it was really difficult for those kids, and I think the lottery is just the easiest way to do it. So we have a deadline for that. That sign-up deadline is Sunday at 8 p.m. And then I'll be taking that lottery and completing that lottery on Monday at 4:30 p.m. So the lottery selected students can then register on World Strides. The list gets sent to World Strides so they know who's approved and who's not approved. Any students that are still left get waitlisted. So the approved trip candidates can register. If your child decides that they don't want to go after all because their friends aren't going or they just changed their mind, you just let me know, and then any waitlisted students will then be bumped on the list. If you move off of the wait list, then I basically email you directly immediately and let you know that that opportunity is available. We have a trip number. It actually came in the student's packet today, and I'll send out the trip number again, as well as putting it on the website so you don't have to worry about what's my trip number. Let's see, what is it? Okay, so if the candidate drops out, next waitlist candidate is informed of the opening, then they get to go. I took about 20-ish students last year that were on the wait list. I thought that was pretty good. Just for various reasons, other kids had dropped out, and so we got to take more kids than I had expected, which was nice. So some other concerns. For medication, I know some of you have children that take medication. The medications are held by the chaperone. So there'll be instructions for like how to package that and how to put that together, but then the chaperone makes sure that the student gets their medication on time every day. No students are ever restricted due to medical concerns, so if you're worried about, I'm not sure my child who has type 1 diabetes will be able to handle it, I can tell you we've had students in the past that have done that and have had a great time and haven't had any issues. Behavior. This is a school trip. We do expect students to respect all behavior expectations, whatever adult that it may come from, whether it's the bus driver, your chaperone, the trip leader, or the tour guides that go around DC with us. So if there is a severe behavior issue, let's say that your child decides that they want something but they can't afford it, so they try and slip it in their bag and get caught. If that's a situation that occurs, we take steps to have that child be removed from the trip. And World Strides will find the next plane ticket home, and chaperone will accompany your child to the airport. Your child will get on the plane. You will pick up your child from the Indianapolis International Airport and pay for the fee. Not a fun time. Kids have not been sent home for many years. The last time I heard somebody getting sent home was for that exact reason. They stole something, and that wasn't even from our school. So hopefully it never gets to that, but I wanted to let you know that that is a possibility. Additionally, the administration and I have decided that if a student is a severe discipline issue from January through October and they're on the approved list, then they may have the action of being taken off the approved list. So there is a possibility that if your child has continual issues, maybe gets suspended excessively, then we'll take the step of taking that child off the trip. And part of the reason is because there's a lot of kids on the wait list that are doing the right thing, and it's not really fair to them to have to see somebody who continually acts up get to go on a trip like this, because it is a privilege. So that's something that we don't take lightly. It's not something that we're just going to throw out there and not follow through on unless it's a very serious situation. Okay, so for the lottery selection, again, because it's a lottery, no spots are guaranteed. I wish I could guarantee some spots to certain kids, but I'm trying to be fair to everyone. So I can't guarantee anything. And the entrance on the lottery is kind of based on that understanding that, yes, it might end up that your child doesn't get selected. And I'm really, really sorry about that. I wish I could make it easier, but I can't. So if you have additional questions, it's a pretty quick meeting, I know. If you have additional questions and you'd like to ask me directly, I'll hang out up here for a little bit. Otherwise, I do have this website here. If you have not registered your student with the lottery information form, it's available on there. And if you have any other concerns that come up in the meantime, my contact information is on there as well. Okay, so thank you again for coming, and you are free to go if you want.
jeggings right here. Get over my big toe. Thank you. I mean, nothing you can play.
Albert, I'll be in touch soon.
But he doesn't have any her hair's getting lighter. Her hair is definitely getting lighter.
I just love her blue eyes.
I do too. You look at this age and love and Miles. She's looking more like her hair. I agree.
And then I naturally have to win.
I mean, I get right up.
Look, I see his eyes. I see his eyes. You better get up.
Jen, just get any kind of email about this. She keeps referring to like she did.
These legs, holy cow. It's quite crazy.
I just feel like the stuffed animal right here because she can't quite sit it too long.
I don't know.
Yeah, just a break.
So she thought it was so cool. She was like,
Isn't she talking about her sleeping tomorrow? I was like, good for you.
Well, I mean, I think I watched him before that, but he was about 6 months.
I mean, but they did
Katie would
send
go get her hair done and Dan would come hang with me. He would sit on the couch and watch. I put cartoons on her, and he would just sit there with his hand out. Like, he wouldn't even look at me. He'd just put his hand out for those rubber puffs. He'd just be watching me count down his hand, with his hand back. And he, oh my God, it was adorable. It was adorable. Yes. I didn't know.
We didn't know anything. Yeah. We got a lot of things to do. Available on that one.
Me? No, I can't. I don't Oh, no crying. Please, for a second.
what is that? Monday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, Sunday? To go to Chicago for work in March.
I go to Tampa. I was gonna say, who's going with you?
How many?
One in March. I was gonna say I could go with you. Depends on what's in the calendar. I mean, I gotta.
They just put a hold on the week of the March 13th through the 16th.
I'll take a look. I'll go.
My mom wasn't sure she would put it off.
Yeah, I can. All I have to do is put in to request it, which I put in my Vegas time and my Tampa time. I love it. Can we go to Italy? Can we take her to Italy?
Or wherever you want to go.
We introduce you to good food at Italy.
Yeah.
I have 3 bags of chips for you in my car, the big ones.
I don't know if I'm going to keep up with you. But
Well, no, they were.
I'm so happy.
Well, Sam's is closing, so I was like,
Oh, they have a bag?
yeah.
I thought you were at Walmart.
No, I got the big bag.
Shut up, Sue.
I was like, I would just go check and see. I wanted to get a bag of Doritos.
I should look at my baby sister too.
You what?
I'm going to make sure I let her try one of those.
Do you have the picture I sent you? The
They're
text?
like, they're like vegetables. They're baked.
And they're like chickpea and green pea and they're really good. I don't know why I didn't grab. Maybe I'll go back when I go back tomorrow. No, if I might
She
go
can
back.
have one of my bags.
Hardly does.
She can have one of my bags.
No, I'm going back to alcohol tomorrow. All that eaten.
Off the beach.
I thought it said eaten beef.
But it's chickpeas, black beans, peas, just vegetables, but it doesn't. Michael loves them. But like the veggie sticks.
The straws.
Yeah,
They have
and
like
I
no
don't eat
flavor.
those. Yeah, these are good.
If I go back and have
I have
any
one on my desk. Because I even still have a salad.
she craved when she said,
Oh, yeah.
but they were only $5.
I don't know, what is it even called? My mother and I let her have a sliver.
You shared with her?
Maybe sliver.
No.
Well, I said peanut butter surprise. That's all it was. Like, I was very excited.
You know, what, she must have dismissed you guys.
Probably.
Well, Sean was on call. The chips. Oh my God, the chips.
I had drank.
I know. Well, and you were tired.
I was so tired.
It was the chips though. Just smashing chips.
Smashing.
I'm the inverse.
I know, I only try to make it kind of good one.
Did you see my new baby? Uh-huh. Absolutely new baby smell. She's a snuggler. She's a hot brick too.
She is. I thought it was just.
No, she's hot. Like all of a sudden I'm like hot.
When I pull her up at night and rinse her sheet, I think the sweat is quality right now.
Okay. Let's see if we can get Miss Katie home so she can maybe get a little 20-minute nap before
Went to
work.
work today.
Because of the, and I wouldn't doubt the which if we have a 2-hour delay tomorrow, I am probably not going to make it to because I've got to take Christmas before Chris gets home on Friday. And I have to work Thursday night. Oh my God, and then I hear my schedule.
I know.
Our week start on Sunday. I work Sunday, like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 4 days next week. No, a couple weeks, but well, my night starts till 9:30. But I'm happy because because I mean like normally I'm off Wednesday by 4:30.
I
So next week we can do student. No, I have my schedule set on Wednesdays that I cannot work late on Wednesdays because that's our spin night.
You just want to cancel spin? I
think so.
Especially if there's a 2-hour delay.
Yeah, with the weather. Come out this way and get your stuff from my car. Well, either way, out either way.
When she needs to, she does. And she's a smart girl, and she's got a great head on her shoulders, and all of that. But she does not like committing to something that's going to require her life. Does that make sense? So to say, to commit, yes, I want to go here, was really difficult. And I was like, you need to
Yeah, that's what she likes.
This morning, Tom Sunday was just like every day.
So it's kind of so I don't know if she'll get it or not. But they so when they get she gets to not missing. But the funny thing is though, is this kid who has no self-esteem, I said, now that you're in the you've done all this.
Yes,
Now
that's what she was saying. Yeah, she's like the buses, the people.
What do you think about it? You know what I mean? Yeah. And I said, every single person you're sending it to is saying, yes, we want you, yes, you're directed this, you're directed. I said, so you should be walking around wearing a freaking t-shirt that says, the world has judged me and has determined I'm pretty freaking awesome. And she's like, okay, mom. So anyway, I think she's starting to calm about it and really, you know what? You're right. Everybody has to do this. They're wrong. So I think she's starting to feel good.
But I just really liked so, but it was conservative, yeah. She loves it. She's actually on the team meeting. Yeah, she's there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, yeah, that's her thing. So, she actually, because she has to be there 5 which is actually very smart. Well, she's kind of like a walking girl. She's kind of a job for better or worse.
Struggling to get up on like a weekend or something.